You said you're pretty sure that most of the cases have been filed, but if there's from the Portland, I think what you said was the cases that were going to be filed have been filed. But if there still is a lot of secrecy, isn't there a possibility that the pedophilia is still going on and they haven't really changed things?
I don't believe that. I believe that and I'm most familiar with the Archdiocese of Portland, also a number of other dioceses. I believe that the Archdiocese of Portland is doing things differently now than they did 30 years ago. There's no question in my mind about that.
Okay.
If for no other reason than for liability and public relations reasons.
Yeah.
So I do believe that the litigation that has been brought has had a positive effect. Now, does that mean in every single situation they're going to respond the right way? No, I don't think so, because for all the reasons we talked about. Habit of secrecy, habit of wanting to protect the organization. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that ethical climate has changed.
Yeah.
But the policies, the practices, the screening that they do before they take a new seminarian candidate, the mandatory reporting that they now do to law enforcement, some of the rules about adults not being alone with children, the criminal background checks that are done for Sunday school teachers, those things are going to reduce child abuse. And the one thing that I really believe is not happening anymore is where a bishop will take a confirmed pedophile, move him secretly to another location. And the reason that that's not happening is because they had learned that's the best way to get hit with millions and millions of dollars in punitive damages.
Well, why do you think they didn't see that that was the wrong thing to do in the first place?
I don't know. I try very hard not, as hard as I am on some of these institutions, Kay, I try very hard not to judge people morally. I think some of it was naivete. I think perhaps 40 years ago there might have been a certain naivete about child abuse and a thought that maybe true repentance and true promise not to do it again might be able to be trusted. I think some of it was incompetence by bishops, just too lazy to look into the matter, and I think there was some outright corruption and cover-up.
Yeah.
I've never been able to understand, though, the answer to that question. Why?
Mm-mm.
Why would you do that? I don't believe that very many bishops, if any at all, woke up and said, my goal today is to hurt a child. I just don't believe that's the way they think.
But why wouldn't they see that when a child is being sodomized, that's really wrong?
Why would they not see that if a person has done that one time, he's likely to do it again? I don't know the answer to that. I cannot. That's where I come back to the ends justify the means. It must have been some analysis that the work we're doing as a church is so important that we can't afford to have our good name smudged by having this stuff get out, so we have to cover it up.
Yeah, so that we can continue doing our good work.
Our good work, right. It literally is the ends justify the means mentality. That's the only answer I've ever been able to come up with as to what could possibly go through the mind of an administrator that would knowingly transfer a child molester. I can't come up with any other explanation. That doesn't make it acceptable,
No.
but that's, I think, must have been the mindset. I don't know.
Thanks a lot for taking time to talk to me this morning. And